Good morning. How are we? So good, so great yesterday. And we got to hear some fantastic speakers. And so now it's time to kind of pull it together and talk about how we can create profitable collaborations. Exactly what Ian was saying, right? Like we all need to help each other. 71% of consumers say they really enjoy when multiple brands come together and create unique products or a unique offering. KPMG have just done this massive survey, and a third of all the really big CEOs are prioritizing strategic partnerships above all other marketing activities. Okay? So this is something that the big brands know it's worth doing. And for the smaller brands, it's equally as important. So I wanted to introduce you to Lara. Lara, like a lot of us, actually started her career selling paint and working in galleries, and she was a fantastic artist, but not, a bit scared, right? So when she hit 40, she decided, you know what? I'm going all out. I'm going to be an artist. So over the last 10 years, Lara has created a really great business, and she's taken her pieces of art into fabrics, into carpets. You can get it in wallpaper. So she's been really commercial about the things that she does. So she's always looking for ways to get her art in front of her ideal customers. So when she went to an event, she actually met the owner of Visio. Visio is like an Italian restaurant in Sydney, a little family-owned, kind of cool district. And so they started chatting and they had an idea. What if we created an event for one night only where we could get everybody into the restaurant and give them an amazing experience? So what they did is they put together direct mails, they put it on their social media, they did point of sale in the restaurant, Lara had it in her gallery, and for one night only, the people came to the restaurant, they got to meet Lara, hear about her artwork, talk to the artist. She worked the room like a pro. And Salvatore, the executive chef, was so inspired by Lara's artwork that he created a signature dish for this one night. And what happened is Lara had an amazing night. She sold multiple paintings. She got an amazing amount of gratitude and admiration of her art. And Salvatore got a whole new band of customers that promised that they were going to become regulars in his restaurant. This is the power of partnerships. These are two small businesses who just decided to do something, to have radical conversations and be radically truthful with each other to change their business lives. I want you to take control of your marketing. Marketing should be fun. This is about reaching thousands of your ideal customers without hiring a marketing agency. It's about increasing your credibility so you're not fighting, with your competitors. And it's about being more profitable because you're really, you're differentiating. But it's the added bonus of working with other people, other business owners just like you, who know your customer as well as you do. And you do this by using the assets you've already built. Who's got a podcast? Right, great. Who's got a course? Some other people, fantastic. Who's got a location? There's so many things that you can leverage, right? People think it's just about their Instagram following. It's not. There's so many things that you have built that you can leverage with other brands to reach your ideal customers. So marketing, we know we have to do all the things right. We hear about all the things we need to do. But what marketing is, right message on the right platform at the right time to the right people. Very simple. And how you do that is you start having great conversations. You start working together. And maybe the piece that you're missing in your business is actually collaboration. So they're called strategic marketing partnerships or brand collaborations. You might have heard things like those big fancy words. What it is, it's a really cool chance to do something with another business that's actually going to be really fun. And it's breaking the mold, it's being creative, it's putting it out there. Who thought a gallery, like an artist and a restaurant, you know? But those customers that were there that night got to have an experience that they got to talk about in their community. So we all know American Express, right? Like big company, deals with thousands of very large, small and medium-sized businesses. So they actually did a study. It's called the Collaboration Index. And so in it, they explored the question, does collaboration generate a worthy return? Who thinks yes? Yeah, maybe? I think so. So unequivocally, the answer was yes. Small and medium businesses recorded that they got a return on investment faster than they expected. And that return happened usually within 6 months. And what it was it took the form of increased sales, a reduction in costs, or both. So I wanted to give you a kind of glimpse into like my background to show you why I'm so passionate about this. So when I started out in my 20s, I decided I wanted to be a small business owner. I wanted to quit corporate, get out. And I went to America and I saw a Jeep baby stroller. And I thought, that is cool. That combines my love of babies and my love of brands, bringing it to Australia. So I convinced this billion-dollar company to take a chance on me, and then I brought it in. So when I got here, I went to Jeep head office and I met with the PR manager who was just about to go on maternity leave. And I wheeled in the product and I showed her and I said, what do you think? And she said, this is pretty cool. What if I did some media for you and you gave me that stroller? And I said, yeah, that would be great. So she got me in everything from the Financial Review, every baby magazine, every newspaper, every magazine, everywhere. The story was told everywhere. So then I got a phone call from Huggies. Hey, we've just seen your product. We'd love to do a competition and give away a Jeep for mother and baby. Would you be keen to give us 4 strollers and we'll take care of all the advertising, the point of sale, we'll put your product on every box of nappies in the country? Yeah, I'd really like to do that. That would be great, thank you. So then I got a meeting with Target. So I'm in the buyer's office, got the strollers, and then she actually said, I've seen these. I actually saw it, Huggies told me about them. So that's fantastic. And then the CEO of Target walks past the room, stops, opens the door, pokes his head in and said, I saw those in the Financial Review. And I said, yes, you did. And he turned to the buyer and said, I want Target to be the first ones with these. So then I took those learnings and I'm like, what other products can I bring to Australia? What other brands would like to be represented? So I kept doing the next one. Then I was like, Sesame Street, let's bring Sesame Street in. And then I started dealing with the different retailers. Toys R Us, go in, sell a container to them. Big W, do you want an exclusive range? And kept going and going until it got to the point where I was like, I know, I've got an idea. I would love to create a fashion branded stroller. So I contacted, because no guts, no glory, right? Like rang Italy, rang Benetton. Hey, I've got an idea. How about we create a fashion stroller? Now, they thought that was such a good idea, they put it out to tender around the world. But I was like, no, you know what? This is like, I really think that we can do this. I really can be the voice. I really can be the young mum. I can tell the story of a young mum actually feeling cool about pushing a stroller that's an extension of her. I can tell the story about how I brought different brands to Australia and elevated them and put them in all the retailers and created a whole tribe of mothers who want to follow. I can tell this story. So I went up against the billion-dollar brands who've been in the market for 30 years, 40 years, and I won. So that was like this amazing step, right? Where I'm like, great. So that got me lots of retailers all over the world, lots of distributors. People wanted to come on. People were like, yes, I love what you're doing. Let's keep going, keep going. So we just kept moving forward. And then I got a phone call. Hey, your business sounds pretty cool. Want to sell it? And I said, put an extra zero on and you've got a deal. So then we sold that business and I went, how am I going to do this? Like, what can I know how to do partnerships now. So I went into e-commerce and I showed an e-commerce company, let's get lots of charities and sports clubs. Let's take all of their communities and bring them onto our platform because I know they'll stay. And then I went into a startup and I said, let's use partnerships to create minimum viable product to get seed funding. And then into McGrath, where we had to sell a whole apartment block of apartments, right? So let's use partnerships. Let's tell amazing stories and get people in. Did that. Went to Glasshouse, candles. Said, let's take your retailers and let's make them into raving advocates where they can't stop talking about you. And then into CSR, basic building products, a brick, piece of plasterboard. And I was like, let's create partners where they use the product and transform it into something super cool and we can tell the story. And those started, I was like, let's take it. So then I started doing deals with Selling Houses Australia and The Block for many, many years, putting my product on TV, making sure we had the deliverables, getting them brand on screen, extending that into our website, our digital, telling the story all the time. So I got millions and millions of dollars worth of TV coverage. Paid zero. It's about partnerships. You can absolutely do this. So do you want to know more? Do you want to know how you can do this? So really there's three main types of partnerships. So one is where you use your product or your service. The next is where you actually use your brand or your knowledge and create a digital partnership. And the third is when you create an event like Lara. So this is a great product story. So this is Stu Gregor in the middle. He's got a brand called 4 Pillars Gin. You might have heard of it, right? Great gin, natural, local company. And so he wanted to get his gin into the glasses of more women. This is Zoe Foster Blake. We all know Zoe, right? Gotta love Zoe. She's created this beautiful skincare brand that's all about the peach branding, smells peach gorgeous, natural. And so they had a great conversation and they decided, maybe we could do something together. So they created the new go-to gin that combines Zoe's beautiful peach packaging with the peach scent and the peach flavour. And Zoe put a post out to her community about the gin. 2 hours later, it was sold out. So you could do this. Imagine if you could actually co-brand a product. Imagine if you could extend it. Imagine if you were a service provider or a product provider that you could actually put this in action. So this is about, as I said, like the Huggies competition. It could be a limited edition. It could be a giveaway. It could be, how do you actually get in front of these brands and offer what you've got? I'm actually going to skip through this one. And because this is around a service. But the next one is because I know a lot of you in the room are actually consultants or you have a 5-step process or you have a vehicle to get an amazing transformation, right? So this is Jono Fleming. He's an interior designer. And he has a podcast with Kerry Ann Jones. And they invited Zeta, who's the head of design for Globewest. So Globewest is a big furniture brand. All the interior designers love it. So he had his knowledge of being an interior designer, okay? And so he invited Ketty. Ketty was on the podcast. They were like, this guy's pretty cool. I quite like him. So Ketty made him a designer in residence. So think about this from your point of view. So you're a professional. So he wrote articles, did videos, things like what's the right size rug for your home, how to actually, design a dining room setting, and he created content. He shared it with his audience. Globewest picked up that content, shared it with their audience, extended it, not only digital, let's have a VIP night. Let's have one-on-one customers. Let's have all these things that actually took his expertise, because Globewest knew that people were making furniture buying decisions, and what happened was they got home and they were like, should I have got this one or this one? I'm not sure. So it was about giving the customer a great experience where they could feel like they had made a great decision. They had no hesitation. And that was because a professional was involved. Because if the professional would pick that for their living room, well, then that was a good decision, right? So what could you actually do? How could you share your professional advice with another product company? So it could be that you own a gym and you actually have nutritionists come in. It could be that you've got a location that you bring people into. This could be events, products, it could be lots of things, right? And even the big banks. So this is like a new bank, not the big four. And so they're differentiating. They're always talking about sustainability. They talk about transgender. They talk about all these great things, right? And so then they actually do articles. This is Natalie. She's got a very small startup and it makes natural botanical syrup so you can put in your drink. So they did an article about her company. And it got promoted out to thousands, hundreds of thousands of the bank's customers on their website, on their email, on their social. And Natalie was clever. She used this. So now she's going for awards. She's going for grants. She's showing that a big brand wants to be associated with her. So how could you do that? Who are you working with? Who are your banks? Who are your associations? Who's in your industry that you could actually use? Who you might work with a marketing agency. They might have a newsletter. How do you get in that newsletter? How do you get your brand and your story out to thousands of your ideal customers? These three mates, all in Melbourne. They decided, do you know what? I've got an idea. And because we all love a book and we all love being an author, they created a competition. Do you want to be an author? $30,000 prize. So the Author Academy takes your idea out of your head, makes it into a manuscript. Tick those boxes. Accountability coach, going to make sure you actually get it done and incorporates with everything else. Publish Central actually gets your manuscript, makes it into a book. The Portrait Store takes a great headshot for your back cover. McPherson's printer actually makes it into a paperback. And Melinda Hurd actually creates amazing video trailers. So 6 people, 6 small, and most of them they're like 1 people in this company, micro businesses, decided to all pull together and create an amazing experience for their target customer. And when you look at this, they all complement each other. They're not competitors, right? So this is a competition, but this could have been a workshop. This could have been a podcast series. This could have been a video series. I mean, this is us. What if 6 of us actually pulled together and created an event? What if 6 of us actually decided to share each other's content, to actually be at each other's event, to share our knowledge with our customers? So this is an opportunity for you. And as I said, you can cut it and dice it any way you want. It's just about giving the customer a great experience. So I hope that sparks some ideas for you, right? Like, I really want you to join me on this crusade because you've all got something to share. I want us to work together to create something more exciting, more alluring, more chat-worthy, more shareable. It starts with just changing your marketing mindset, and you will see opportunities for partnerships everywhere. I want you to leave here having had curious conversations with a basket full of ideas and an impatience to execute them. Thank you.